Thank you for joining us for this Operation Greatness Freeing the Matrix Parasite Cleansed Focused Wealth Immersion Action Pod number 63. This is entitled Nothing is as it seems, especially you. When you hear me say that, nothing is as it seems, especially you, what comes to mind for you immediately about that? Like, let's look at you. How much of what people see about you is you? I mean, I'm guessing that they're only seeing, like the size of the screen. If you're watching this video, if you're leading your own Operation Greatness chapter through freeingthematrix.com, then you're watching the video of this. And if you just picture like a screen, I'm guessing, like there's a few, maybe like one row, or at least maybe even like 15% of the top row of pixels. That's probably how most people experience you. Very surface level and, very like one-dimensional even. Would that be fair? Versus like maybe your close friends, your romantic partner, your family, at least like your close family, maybe brothers, sisters, mom, dad, children. And yet even they only, how much do you think they know of you? Or are they only, like your children might only think of you as mom or dad and might, they care about how it relates to them, how you relate to them. And yet even, maybe like if you're a boss, if you have employees, or if you're an employee, maybe your boss, they might know you more. And anyway, I mean, there's so much more to you than you even recognize yourself. So I'm inviting you, I'm creating the space for you to recognize that. Like, okay, like I just helped a friend who needed someone to take her to another community for surgery, and then she had to have somebody watch her for 24 hours, and I mean, I don't know. I it was I mean, but like this woman doesn't even know that I have a podcast, or maybe she does, but she's never tuned into it. And there's so many things about her that I learned during, like, we were spending 2 days together. And I mean, anyway, what I want you to recognize is that you are infinitely more powerful than you can ever imagine. This is your invitation. This is the safe haven, the sanctuary, you might say, for you to fully share all of the gifts you have within you that are just there, maybe like in the attic or the basement, and they have like a tarp over them and they're full of dust because you haven't brought them out in so long. I mean, like my own example of that is I've felt for a while that I need to go back to doing public speaking. It was easy and natural for me when I would publish my latest book and then I would do talks about that. But that was back in the days when we had like a Borders bookstore and Barnes and Noble, and I could go there and they would buy my book and then I would speak and then we would sell the book at the end of the speech. And that was easy and great. But really, I haven't put myself out there very much in public, in person, since this was probably back in maybe 2001 or 2000 or 1999. It was, I don't know, somewhere around that time frame when I promoted a talk that I was going to give. This was after I published my book called Experience Unconditional Love this year, and I was going to do a special talk on Let Love In, Own Your Power, and I forgot the rest of the subtitle, but it was going to be, I was really excited, inspired to share this, and no one showed up for it. And I was kind of like, the story that I told myself was, nobody loves me. Nobody cares what I say. nobody, whatever. And that was just like I allowed that to be devastating for me, and I didn't go back and put myself in that situation to be heartbroken again, you might say. And yet I know that I still have to do that. So that was like more than 20 some years ago, and I still haven't done that. So that's kind of interesting for me to even see that. Where is that place where you made up a story about you that was just based on your false conclusion about something that you maybe you put yourself out there and maybe somebody shot you down? I mean, like I wanted to be a singer, and then this goes back to college, and yeah, I thought I sang Comfortably Numb almost as well as David Gilmour did, and the Pink Floyd song. And yet I sang this to one of my close friends, and he's like, eh. And that was, I basically stopped singing after that. And I had this whole concept album. It was going to be called Ninja Warrior, and it was pretty cool. And I don't know, I wrote a couple songs in for this album, the Ninja Warrior album. And I mean, so you are so much more than I would say everyone recognizes, and because you were playing small. I mean, you know that, right? You admit to that, I trust, because you're honest with yourself. You were holding back. You were limiting your happiness, joy, fulfillment, well-being, peace of mind, success, prosperity, meaning, impact, contribution because of the way the outside world gave you feedback whenever you had something important. You were excited about it, and then somebody shot that down. Because the world is not always a warm, nurturing, loving place. As much as you, I'm sure, I trust, are warm, loving, nurturing, and supportive, and positive, and inspiring. Except maybe you had a bad day yourself, and your children needed some love. And I mean, how often has that happened where you were a little short with someone and maybe you shot them down without even realizing it? Or how often has that happened to you? So this is your encouragement. This is your opportunity. This is your gift to step out of that basement or to take that tarp off. Your gifts, your loves, your passions, how you are here to be of greater service and to share that freely, to give of yourself freely. And I don't want to hear any, yeah, but I mean, like me, I mentioned like nobody showed up when I was going to present this conversation called Let Love In. And it turned out I just recorded it on my own and I released it as the sixth, I think, or the seventh. I don't know. Let's see. There was the audio. This is part of the Unconditional Love gift set. Okay, the Unconditional Love gift set was the Experience Unconditional Love this year, the book, the workbook, a song for Kuan Yin, and creating planetary unconditional love and develop your love unconditionally, and then the 2 CD unconditional love meditation set, and then let love in. So that was the last. Wow, there's 8 components there. I didn't realize it was that big. The unconditional love gift set, and yeah, let love in was the last piece of that. So that I mean, so I presented it anyway, and I don't remember if it was like a 60-minute or 85-minute CD or whatever. I don't know. I don't remember how long it was right now. Pretty strong stuff though. And it would be fun to present it live now. And but I want to go and do our Operation Greatness chapters in our community. And I want to help people become parasite cleansed in my community and help them join us in freeing the matrix. So we have different chapter meetings that we want to start doing, and I'm ready to start doing that. So what are you ready to do yourself? Talk about all this in our freeingthematrix.com mastermind. So let's go back to how nothing is as it seems. We can talk about this in so many different layers or levels. I mean, like our school system, for example. Do you think that's really about education, or is that just about indoctrination? And is it, I mean, to me, it's like this demands every one of us leading our own Operation Greatness chapters and being that leader who's organizing everyone in your local area to step up and stop the abuse of our children. I mean, it is that plain and simple for me, because how could we trust anyone who was part of the betrayal of our children to be in the care of our children? How can we expose our children to anyone who has betrayed us and our children and the family, the institution of the family, America, God, humanity? How can any of them, I mean, this sounds a little dramatic, how can any of the people responsible for the abuse of our children not just face the guillotine in the town square? I mean, they were abhorrent to even follow any curriculum from, the communists, the globalists, the parasites, the predators, evil, to teach children, like boys who are white, that they should be shamed of themselves, or all children that they're not the sex where they were born. I mean, all of this is just confusing and it's child abuse. It's how can you see it any other way? So you could say nothing is as it seems, like in our school system. I mean, it's become evil. It's become like, how can we? I mean, I think any child, any parent who sends their children into that coven of iniquity or, lack of morals and betrayal, I think they're committing child abuse. I mean, what do you think about that? I mean, my dad was a college professor and he started to talk about how the administration was, he was a math professor. He started talking about how the administration was pressuring him to just kind of pass along the people on the basketball team because I think he said they needed like a D average maybe. And so if they were failing, he was pressured to just give them a passing score even though they didn't deserve it. And because of how much money basketball brought into the small college where he taught. And that's kind of, I mean, a big part of why he retired, because he saw that it was becoming political, because he has integrity, my father. And hopefully every one of us has integrity and we know the truth and we honor that because we're honorable people. And yet, I mean, nothing is as it seems. Like, do you think your government is actually there to serve and support you? Or are they just ensuring that the systems of control and oppression are still working? I mean, how can any community putting poison in the water supply serve your best interests? How can the Food and Drug Administration, like when I was in college, for example, I used to think, oh, they're protecting me from the greedy people who would just give me crap or junk, and which is poisonous. And I thought, well, if they're selling it, it must be safe for me to eat. That's a complete false assumption. It's a lie. And I mean, how can any of the food manufacturers put all this junk that causes cancer and is known to be carcinogenic or toxic or poisonous or all of the above? And they do that in America, where other countries they ban it. I mean, that's how corrupt and out of balance and out of alignment the system is, right? I mean, I hope Bobby Kennedy is correctly changing that and stopping the poisoning of our people, our children, our loved ones, and yet this is our responsibility. How can anything that is harmful to us, how would we permit that to happen? I mean, how could it ever be even a possible option that you could buy poison, like your vegetables and fruits that are covered in poison, or you can pay a third more for unpoisoned, at least allegedly unpoisoned produce? How is that even an option to consider? And how, I mean, how come it's not as simple as like today I was looking for some protein bars that didn't have sugar in them and I didn't find any, but I do like a few bars they say they only have four ingredients in them. At least I know what I'm getting if I were to give myself the poison of sugar. I mean, like today's I think day 11 maybe since I gave up sugar and caffeine, except I'm calling it day 7 since I gave up caffeine because I did buy a protein shake one time that was chocolate hazelnut, and after I drank it, I kind of had a feeling it had caffeine in it, and it did. It had 19 grams, whereas a cup of coffee is like 100 grams. But anyway, all of this stuff is poisonous, so why are we allowing that to be even available as our food, quote unquote food? And we have a lot of work to do. Nothing is as it seems, especially you. You are so much stronger than you can ever even imagine or comprehend. And I want you to recognize that. I want you to own your power. I want you to command your destiny. Will you do that? So go, if you're not yet part of our freeingthematrix.com mastermind, then make sure you're joining that now, right here, because I want you to go to our mastermind and post your thoughts about all of this and share your commitment. You know, Dan's right. We all have to step up and stop tyranny, oppression, evil. The parasites have been feeding off of us for way too long, and our responsibility as caretakers for the planet is to make sure that our children inherit a world more loving, more peaceful, more generous, more abundant, more wealthy, more rich, with ample opportunity and support and common decency than the world that we inherited. And I mean, are you really going to allow this world to be in such utter disconnection, despair, disempowerment, distraction as what you had allowed it to become? I mean, you know, that phrase, not on my watch. Well, this is what happened on your watch. So, what are you going to do about it to stop this from being evil? The world as we know it has, you could say, gone to hell in a basket or bucket, but I don't know what a hand bucket is and what that has to do with the world. I mean, it's a figure of speech. I know it's kind of silly, but anyway, how are you the inspired visionary leader of everyone connected with you, all of whom you are here to serve, to lead, inspire, transform, and liberate, in fact? I mean, we're doing this together through our through our freeingthematrix.com mastermind, and especially if you're leading your own Operation Greatness chapter in your community, then you're standing as the leader of everyone in your local area. And I will work with you as much as you want to be that inspiration, to have the full impact that it is your destiny, it is your gift, it is your blessing, it is your responsibility to have. So, how do you respond to all this? Are you stepping up and owning your power and commanding your destiny now? Well, lead your own chapter then, and let's do this. We're doing this through the freeingthematrix.com mastermind. If you haven't already joined us there, then do that now for sure. And then go to the About tab and get your invite people link. And go back to the beginning of this action pod number 63 and talk about all of these points as separate posts on all of your social media because you have something to share. You have so many gifts to give, and this is you stepping up and using your power beyond measure. You are so much more powerful than you can ever even imagine or comprehend. And this is your time to demonstrate that, to show the world how strong you are, how inspired you are, how much of an example you are for your children and for your community and for everyone connected with you, because this is about every one of us becoming our best and helping everyone else become their best as well. We're all here serving and supporting each other, especially in our freeingthematrix.com mastermind. So talk about all this, and we're working together in liberating humanity. This is the most important work every one of us has done. So go back to the beginning and pause and reflect on each point, and then share your thoughts as separate posts. And in each post, use your invite people link that you got on the About tab in our freeingthematrix.com mastermind. And then take all of those posts and put them in the essay that you're sending me, as always, at dan@danclatt.com. And then also post that in our freeingthematrix.com mastermind. What are your own examples of how nothing is as it seems, especially you? Go deep within all of this. We'll talk about as much as you want in our freeingthematrix.com mastermind. I love you. I believe in you. I know how much you matter, because you are here to be the inspired visionary leader of every one of your online friends, because all of us are together stepping up, owning our power, and we are commanding our destiny. And this is the greatest thing humanity has ever done, because we are literally liberating humanity. We're saving everyone in our human family. And that especially includes you. Is there any question about that? We're doing this together through our freeingthematrix.com mastermind. So thank you for stepping out fearlessly, courageously. It might not be easy or comfortable at first, and yet you're putting yourself out there and you're having success, and we're all supporting you in being the best person who is living your divine design, duty, destiny, dharma. Nothing matters more than you serving everyone you are here, blessed to be able to transform. And we're doing this all together. So thank you for allowing us to serve and support you in having the full impact you are here to have through your Freeing the Matrix and Operation Greatness chapter. Thank you very much.